started on Africa's varsity volleyball team all 4 years of high school. Each year, I watched the seniors enjoy their senior night ceremony and then end each night happy or distraught over the match to follow. Finally, my own senior night had come. I was battling emotions of excitement as well as some sadness, knowing this would be one of the final times I would compete as an Avongrove Red Devil. As usual, the ceremony was incredible. The parents really pulled out all of the stops to make mine and my fellow seniors' night one to remember, which is something I will always be grateful for. The ceremony went very smoothly, but seemed to drone on as what I was truly looking forward to was the match against longtime league rival Christopher Doc Mennonite School. Year after year, we competed with them for the league championship title. Each year, we seemed to alternate who won, and having lost it to them the previous year, I felt as if I would do anything to win. Oddly enough, the season had worked out that despite beating Doc earlier in the season, this match would be the final decider on who would take the title for 2017. Going into the match, I was feeling confident. We managed to build the largest student section I had ever seen at an Avongrove volleyball match. We had beaten Doc a few weeks before, and it being senior night built a new passion inside me that I'm sure my fellow seniors were feeling too. Now, for those of you who do not know, in high school, varsity volleyball matches are played best of 5 sets. Each set is one game to 25 points, win by 2. So the first to win 3 sets in the event of a tie. The 5th set is only played to 15, still win by 2. Finally, the match had started. We lost the coin toss, which meant we would be serving first, or more importantly, I would be serving first. The first serve of the match is always the easiest for the opposing team, and we ended up losing the first point. We stayed calm, though, and continued to play. The first set was extremely competitive. Neither team seemed to be able to get a good lead on the other, and the score stayed extremely close. In the end, Doc got a lead and won the first set 25-21. At this point, our attitudes were anything but positive, but I reminded myself and my team that there was still a lot of volleyball to be played. This was my 3rd year as team captain, and I knew that if I kept my cool and stayed positive, the team would follow suit. Soon after the second set started, it became very hard to continue this good leadership. Doc destroyed us in the second set 25-12. At this point, all of us were angry, and many seemed to have given up hope, but I couldn't yet. Comebacks are a part of every sport, and I had to hold on to the small part of me that still believed we could win. After our coach went over some strategy for the coming set, I stepped in to give a speech off the top of my head. I reminded my team about how only a year previously, Doc had been in the same position we currently were, and vice versa. I told them that what matters most now is that we keep our heads high and go out there and just play our game, because I know that we have the talent to come back from this, and I refuse to just give up on our senior night. This seemed to get a rise out of them as we all started cheering and hollering as we brought it in for a quick breakdown. AG on 3, I yelled over my team's cheers, and they quieted briefly. 1, 2, 3, AG, we all yelled simultaneously. The third set started off as yet another very competitive first couple of points. However, I think it was helpful as the crowd began to get more and more into it. Between points, I began to hear chants like, "Let's go AG," and just cheers of excitement as we fought what was currently a losing battle. Soon, though, we began to pull away, and I saw the looks of defeat in my teammates turn to looks of hope and confidence. Doc could not seem to get a run going, where we seemed incapable of not getting 3 or 4 points each time we sent someone back to serve. In the end, we dominated Doc in the third set, returning the favor with a score of 25-12. This was huge. Everyone seemed to have a new energy, especially the fans. It was hard to hear in the huddle, they were so loud, but I managed to make my voice heard. "Great work out there, boys," I started. "Let's just go out, play our game like we just proved we know how to do, and tie this game up." We repeated our AG chant and lined up for the 4th set. The 4th set went a lot like the first. Each team was playing their hearts out, Doc searching for a win, my team and I just fighting to tie it up. We went point for 25 grueling points. Once again, no team seemed to be able to keep a lead until the end of the set, where oddly enough, we reversed the score of the first, winning the 4th 25-21. The score was tied 2-2. These last 15 points would decide it all. Would I win on my senior night? Would we reclaim the championship title? Questions swarmed through my mind whilst nervousness encompassed my body. 15 points. It was do or die. The 5th set was the craziest 15 points of volleyball I played in my entire life. Once again, it started off with both teams going point for point until Doc began to pull away halfway through. We started playing scared, giving Doc a huge advantage. Before I knew it, Doc was up 14-10, and we were out of timeouts. The only thing I remember is constantly telling my teammates, we're good. There was match point and we were down by 4. It seemed hopeless. I won't forget what our coach had told us in our most previous huddle. We just came back from a 2-set deficit. That's 50 points. Now we only need 4 to tie it. Get there first, and then we will worry about winning. We sided out the very next point. It's now 11-14, and it just so happens that it was my turn to serve. We rallied for a long time in the next play, but eventually I set my right side hitter for a huge kill, 12-14. I go back to serve again. When my hand hit the ball, I thought I had lost us the game. I watched the ball sail much shorter than I had intended and hit the top of the net. My heart dropped. I thought I had cost us the game after we had worked so hard to come back. But then it trickled over. This was a surprise to everyone, but mostly Doc, as the ball hit the floor on their side of the net and the score changed to 13-14. The next point was one of the scariest of my life. We rallied with Doc for what seemed like forever, and I need to pat myself on the back for 2 pretty crazy saves that kept the play going. In the end, I fed my right side hitter again for another huge kill to tie the game. Everyone was going nuts. Administrators were standing in front of our student section to keep everyone off the court. I cannot recall a time or gym ever being so loud. The score is now 14-14. The next team to score 2 points in a row would be victorious. It was still my serve, and despite the noise from the crowd and a whirlwind of emotions and thoughts inside me, I had to focus. I put the next serve right down the line, right at a player who is definitely not supposed to pass the ball, but I'm thankful for his overconfidence because he shanked it way out of bounds. 15-14, us. 1 point, and we will have made one of the most amazing comebacks I'd ever seen. I went back to the serving line telling myself, it's just got to be in. Just put the ball in the court. My game plan was to serve at their best hitter, in hopes that he would not get the ball after to hit it. I got exactly what I wished for, as the ball hit him in the shoulder and sailed out of bounds. I threw my arms up and screamed in celebration. We had done it. I felt pure happiness and bewilderment as my teammates tackled me to the ground in a dog-piled celebration. I eventually wiggled my way out and did the one thing that seemed logical. I ran into the stands and hugged my mom. In the beginning of the season, if you'd asked me if this team could have ever made this comeback, I probably would have said no. But clearly I was wrong. We worked hard and persevered, leading to one of the best nights of my entire life.